Namaskar and welcome to Victorious Kids Educators, a school with a difference. Here we couple the ancient rich heritage of Vedanta with the latest of the International Baccalaureate. If we try to teach our children the way you and I had learned, we're going to rob them of their tomorrow. Just watch. The curriculum driven of ancient Western education has created M for maths, E for English, S for social study, and S for science. MESS, a mess. If you do not revolutionize and discover the giant from within the child, we're going to rob them of their great potential. Just like the tip of an iceberg, a giant is hiding within. If you cut an apple, you can count how many seeds are there. Can you tell me how many apples are there in one seed? Welcome to that learning revolution. In this revolutionizing the concepts of the learning, I want you to see the Western world is catching up with the Vedanta, with the latest of the educational concept, and talking about all children are born genius, and we spend the first 6 years of their life de-geniusing them. Then why is it you and I are not genius? Hey, you and I were also equally good in our school days. But anybody, any teacher, including our lovely parents, they did not know. If I show you today this mobile and showed you that come, use the mobile, talk to your friend in America today, you would say, okay, what's the number? But if I showed it to you 30 years ago, when you and I were kids, you would say, how can it be possible? So ignorance is the reason why this has happened. India, Bharat forgot that infinite potential is hiding within every child. Every child matters, every child can. Come and watch how tremendous potential is unearthing within 6 to 8 weeks of time. Not a big talk. Come and experience it yourself. You and I have not been there, but your children have the right to be there. It is not just infinite potential. Proper scope requires for bringing out that hidden potential. And if violently, if you try to take them across the same curriculum-driven education, we are robbing them of their future. There's a beautiful thing in the IB with Vedanta is concept learning, concept-based learning. It's not just like the way you and I had studied. You and I studied Charles' Law, Boyle's Law, Faraday's Law. We don't remember them. Why did we study them? Understand, basics of the education should be to first develop the character of the children. Not learning just huge academic data, whatever the subject. Not to make a MESS a mess of their life. Over here, the schools need to participate, partake, learn about the concept and help our parents to discover who our children really are. Schools should be the best party in town by the Western concept of revolutionizing the concept of learning. Come, I will share with you a little bit of concept that they're talking about today. Western world is catching up with what? Ancient India's Vedanta. The world our kids are growing to live in is changing 4 times faster than our local school. This is Dr. William Daggett, Directorate of International Center for Leadership and Education, top center for leadership and education. Which city? If you can see it, it is Colorado, United States. Saying what? That our schools are not okay. I want you to see a beautiful, simple statement, and it will shake you up because you and I had missed the boat. Every child has at birth a greater potential of intelligence than Leonardo da Vinci or name it Isaac Newton, Einstein had ever used. This is Dr. Glenn Norman, and Dr. Glenn Dorman is the conceptual understanding which our Victorious Kids, along with the Western science of IB, is utilizing it. Today, unfortunately, what has happened is, we know that ancient India's Upanishads and Vedanta have tremendous rich heritage. But did you know that this Vedanta is unknown to you and me, to the most of the Indian, because our education system did not take it. Neither are we teaching them Sanskrit and Upanishads and Vedas, but we teach them the concept. Like what? You and I know the national flag. All Indians know our Indian flag. We are proud of it. We know our national pillar. Look, reflect carefully. Do you know what is written on it? I'm certain some of you may not recollect it. It is written, Satyameva Jayate. Truth alone will make you win. But how many adults and children do you and I know today who do not tell lies? How come when the Indian pillar of the standing of the victory is saying that truth alone will make us win? Satyameva, truth alone. But nobody is practicing it. Our school children, I guarantee you, dear parent, dear teachers, give them 3 months time. They will not tell lies if they're younger. And if they're teenagers and all, give them 2 to 3 years time. Because the earlier scripture which has been written on their mind, they need to be erased and bring out what? The tip of the iceberg of a child is only 9 to 10%. But the 90% is giant hiding within. That has to be unearthed. And that is what is called the character. You know something? This Vedanta is today so popular in the world. Just to understand it, Google it. Harvard Divinity School. HTS is a college in Harvard. And you know what they're teaching? David Clooney. He's talking about Vedanta for various students who take admission in that college to understand the power within. He himself is teaching Bhagavad Gita in Harvard for the world student. And you and I know a little bit of Bhagavad Gita, know a little bit. That Satyameva Jayate is from Mundakya Upanishad. Do you know something? This Vivekananda's book called Turning Point. The turning point is India is waiting to explode. India is shooting ahead. Go to Wikipedia. Go to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation on YouTube called Shift is Happening. Read it. You know what does it say? Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation state that 2024 to 2028, India will go past American and Chinese economy and shoot ahead, never to turn back again. And do you know what? 2024 to 2028, it is the 33, 34-year-old young men and women, as per Melinda Bill Gates Foundation, are the ones who are going to do that. Just see, this is a beautiful book by Michael Kuhlman, Passionate Mind. You know, this book is written for all the Nobel laureates. Michael Kuhlman discovered how did they become Nobel laureate. What's the secret? Beautiful point. Come over when you come, share it a bit of Bob and I'll share with you. Says it is the mother who discovered, and in our country we worship our mother, isn't it? I want you to see David Chalmers. He is an Australian. He is the head of the philosophy department of New York University, NYU. This Reality Plus is the book he released approximately 2 months ago. You know what's he talking about? You and I say, come on, let's face the world. This is the real world. He's saying, yes, that's the material world, but the plus is what is hiding within. Discover that. You know, this book is written by Evan Thompson. He is a professor of philosophy of British Columbia University in Canada. Waking, dreaming, being. You know what's he talking about? He's talking about Mandakya Upanishad, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and being is Turiam. It's the consciousness which you and I know is the supreme quality of a human being. I want you to see this book, and with this I welcome you. Houston Smith, no more. About 3 years ago he left his body. He is considered to be an authority of the world religion, and in his recommendation, which is quoted in Bhagavad Gita, written by Paramahansa Yogananda, God talks with Arjuna. Chapter 2, verse 31, page 246. Read it in the 4th para. You know what Houston Smith is saying? He recalls, it's quoted, that Arnold Toynbee in 21st century, he quoted it, Arnold Toynbee, 150 years ago, 1950, about that India the conquered would conquer her conquerors. Dear parents, my lovely teachers, come on, let's take up the journey. Come and learn a little bit, participate, welcome these children to a revolution in learning. Arise and awake and stop not till the goal is reached. Could you believe our children today, this little school, Victorious Kids, is producing world toppers in IB. 560 plus schools. Where is Switzerland and where is America and England and Japan and Korea and Singapore and Australia, New Zealand, and yet the topper is from this school. What the power? Secret is Vedanta with IB. IB is talking about the same thing, 10 student profile. Vedanta is talking about secret is within you, within your child, which is that's within. I am that. This is English of the Vedantas. Aham Brahmasmi. Welcome and Namaskar. I wish you a happy journey.